Alright, so now we're going to talk about the blues scale. I get this question a lot from students is, what's the difference between a minor pentatonic scale and a blues scale? And how does that note work? So, not to get too much into the tall grass of music theory or scale theory, but, and we talk about this later in some of the scale stuff, but if you watch the video on the pentatonic scale and how it is constructed, you have both these examples are in A. So this is going to be an A blues scale. So this is our A note, the fifth string open. And then if you go up a minor third, that's a C. There's your fourth is D. There's your fifth is E. So just like the alphabet, A, B, C, D, E, F, G, and then you're back to A. So A is the root. There's not a second in this scale. It goes to the minor third. So root, minor third, fourth, fifth, flatted seventh, root. Those notes make up a minor pentatonic scale. If we take the fifth and we flat it, one fret, a half step, that's a flatted fifth. That's called the blues note. It's a passing note. So a flatted fifth is your blues note. And you've heard it a ton of times. So if I play just the minor pentatonic scale, you get 0, 3, 0, 2, 0, 2, 1, 3, open, 3. So now all we're going to do is flat this fifth. We're going to add it, so you get 0, 1, 2, 0, 2, 1, 3, 4, open, 3. So A, C, D, D sharp, E flat, E, G, A, C, D, E flat, D sharp, E, G. So that nice kind of dissonant sound, it causes a tension, and it works because it's between these two notes that are in the scale. This note causes some tension, so it wants to move. And it's a great sound. You hear it all the time in blues licks. You know, if I continue and play that scale, right? And notice this. That's the fourth, the flatted fifth. On the next string is your fifth. So now if we take a look at the same scale but at the fifth fret, this is the pentatonic scale that everybody seems to learn first. So if we're at the fifth fret, which is the A note again, if you remember from the other video, you get 5, 8, A, C, D, E, G, A, and then they start over C, D, E, G, A, C. So this is our fifth right here. This is the E. If we flat it, it's a flatted fifth. So you get that's the flatted fifth. Going up. So we're just adding that one note to the pentatonic scale that you already know. So it would look like this. I use my pinky a lot. You could use your third if you want, but A, C, 5, 8, 5, 6, 7, 5, 7, 5, 7, 8, 5, 8, 5, 8. So that's what we have right here in the tab. 5, 8, 5, 6, 7, 5, 7, 5, 7, 8, 5, 8, 5, 8. So the notes I put in parentheses, that's your flatted fifth. That's what makes this the blues scale. So when you hear people refer to minor pentatonic or the blues scale, it's the same shape. We're just adding this one note in there, the flatted fifth. And you'll see that kind of stuff. You've already heard this a bunch of times. So, and you can do it down here. You'll hear this kind of stuff in blues, bluegrass. It's pretty common country. And then if I move, so just play around with it, and you can a couple times. I was trying to give some examples of sometimes I was hammering from 0 to 1. Sometimes hammering 0, 1, 2. You can slide from 1 to 2. Same here, hammer on or slide. You can bend to it. So if you hit the 6 and you just give it a slight bend, you're bending to that 7 note. All right, so same here. You can slide to that 8. You can bend from 7 to 8, so you're just bending a half step, 1 fret. So it does take a little bit to get used to if you've just been playing that minor pentatonic shape a lot. So this is a great way to kind of spice up your playing and bring in a new sound, is bringing in this flatted fifth. So try approaching it different ways. It's a great way to kind of mix up your playing, is if you're hammering it sometimes, bending to it, coming back down instead of going 0, 1, 2 all the time. Maybe it's 2, 0, 1. You're just playing around with that pattern and that shape because you're trying to get the sound of that note in your head too, and how it's approached and how you come off of it. So it's part of your training. It's part kind of retraining your fingers to find that extra note. And it can also be fun to treat it as a picking exercise, because if you've just been playing straight pentatonic, you have 2 notes per string, right? So if you're alternate picking, you're going down, up, down, up, down, up. Well, if you continue alternate picking and you add the blues note, now you have a down, an up, a down, an up, a down. You're starting the next string with an up pick, which is going to feel kind of weird. But it's a good challenge for the right hand to figure out how to keep the alternate picking thing going when you have 3 notes per string instead of just 2. Same here, 5, 8, 5, 7, 5, 7, 5, 7, 5, 8, 5, 8. You have 2 notes per string, so it's down, up, down, up, down, up, down, up. As soon as you throw the 6 in there, people have a tendency to go down, up, down, up, down, down, up, down, up, down, down. You're trying to start the next string with a down pick. And it's not that big of a deal. You see that all the time with players where they'll kind of drag their pick down or up into the next string. But this is also a good workout for the right hand, to the challenge of having to deal with 3 notes per string instead of 2. So to just kind of recap, the blues scale, think of it as the minor pentatonic scale with an added note. And if you don't know a lot of music theory, which is fine, it's worth starting to think about it now, because you'll need to know this and how this relates to underlying chord progressions, how to improvise in solo, because you'll have to target these notes eventually. It'll help you learn the fretboard. So it's not like you have to, grind away and memorize the theory, but just know that from any root you start on, if you go up a minor third, or three frets, 1.5 steps, that's the next note of the pentatonic scale. So root, up 3 frets, up 2 frets, up 2 frets, in between is your flatted fifth. So it doesn't matter how you play this, you can play it on one string. Because the formula stays the same. This is what a minor pentatonic scale is. When you add the flatted fifth, it makes it the blues scale. So and once you've kind of memorized the patterns and the shapes, start at least trying to identify where the root is, where that flatted third is, where the fifth is, and then if you flat the fifth 1 fret, you'll find your blues note. Okay. Have fun, experiment around with it in different keys, and then try playing it over recordings too. And you'll be surprised at how much you start to hear these things in different songs and guitar riffs. All right, catch you next time.